and welcome to episode 15 of the Geek Games podcast. I am Sam Suvak alongside Cody Tetrick. Hello, Cody.
Hey Sam, how's it going?
Good. So let's just get it all out there. For the record, this is episode 15, take two. We
Yes.
tried to record this bad boy last night, and we had some issues. We had one issue in particular. He was about a 5-year-old issue, you would say?
Yeah.
Yes.
My nephew apparently was spending the night last night. I didn't know that. So him screaming and my family wanting to do stuff was just sprung on me. So yeah, it
It
didn't go well.
was a no-go for podcasting.
Yeah, no go for podcasting. But I
But
mean, the good
hey,
news is
yes.
we're recording today, and today EA's press conference happened. So you're getting some E3 content early.
Yay! So exciting.
Yes.
It's like an E3 appetizer.
Yeah. And then on the next one, talk about all of it.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you want to I don't remember what we said. Do you want to start talking about EA or do you want to start just talking about what we played?
Let's do what we played. We can,
Okay.
you know,
All
get
right.
that out the way and then dive deep in.
Sounds good. So, Cody, why don't you start us off? You wrote down something interesting in the document. We're all familiar with Cody's Corner of Rage, but this is Cody's Corner of Bad Decisions. I'm interested in this.
Yes, so lately I've been feeling like, man, I really want to get back into World of Warcraft, but I'm like, no, don't do that because I have an issue with MMORPGs where I get sucked in and then I don't stop playing them. And obviously, that could probably get a little boring if I every week I came back and was like, hey, I'm doing this in World of Warcraft on the podcast. Um, so instead, I made the bad decision of buying Elder Scrolls Online Summerset on the PS4. Uh, I don't know my logic because I went from one MMORPG to another. So, um,
Well, the good thing about this one, I'll say, because it's on PS4, so as long as you are still showing that you're online, I'll be able to see whenever you're playing. And so if it seems to me that you're playing too much, I can get on there and be like, "Hey, Cody, time to come play something else."
um, yeah, I mean, I haven't had that issue yet. Like, I hop in and only play like an hour at a time usually.
Okay. Good
I'm kind of
restraint.
treating it like how I played Skyrim, where I would hop in, play for like an hour or two, and then hop out, go play something else. Um, so I have played Elder Scrolls in the past when it first came out, and I remember not liking it. So I don't know why I picked it up again, but hey, here we are. I'm liking it at this point. So when I bought it, I pre-ordered Summerset. So I got all the base game and then the Morrowind update, and then when Summerset would launch, which would be a day later, I'd get all the Summerset content. So the first character I made was a warden, and I was like, cool, this dude's got a bear as a pet. So I
Nice.
was in for it. Then I realized that character is really bad because you get to like level up to get the bear. I want the bear from the get-go.
Yeah.
Don't know why you would advertise maybe having a bear and then maybe level for it. I mean, decisions. And I also didn't really like the Morrowind starting area. I just couldn't get into it. Like,
Mhm.
I was on a boat and I was a prisoner and I was like helping somebody help other prisoners. And man, this sounded a lot like Divinity Original Sin all of a sudden. Uh,
Also, isn't that how like Elder Scrolls oh no, maybe I played Morrowind on the demo and that's why it sounds familiar.
maybe.
That's probably what it
Um,
is, because I was a prisoner in that one.
so the next day, the Somerset expansion came out, so I made a Dragon Knight.
Ooh,
It's kind of like a warrior with like dragon abilities. Like I can make scales come off me, and I can. My first ability I got was a fire whip. I'm assuming I'm breathing fire and turning it into a whip and lashing out.
nice.
Uh, that's a little better. I feel like that's a good like starting character because like you're just a warrior. Like your job is to hit things.
If
You don't gotta
you're
manage like magic.
if you're a dragon knight, do you get to ride on a dragon?
I don't think there's flying mounts, but I don't know if there's a dragon that's kind of on the ground. Like a giant lizard, like a Komodo dragon, maybe.
Okay, I
Um,
don't think it gets to be called a dragon if it doesn't fly. Then it's just
I mean, it's a
disappointing.
Komodo dragon, though.
I feel bad for Komodo dragons because they don't get to
I do.
fly. They're like the worst of the
Yeah.
dragons.
Um, I did for pre-order in Summerset get a fire tiger. Like there's like a fire coming out of its eyes and its paws. So that's pretty cool.
Wait, its
Um,
eyes and its paws? Those seem like weird places to have the fire come out. I was thinking its mouth.
yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird choice. Also took me like 30 minutes of playing to figure out how to summon my mount. You have to hold touchpad. So I was
Okay.
like running around pressing things and like things aren't going the way I wanted. I remember one of my big issues with Elder Scrolls Online was it was in first person. And like I don't know why that was a big issue because I love Skyrim. And so um I found out if you hit down on the D-pad, you go in the third person because I watched some streams and finally was like, hey, how do I do this? Um, so far, I'm liking it. The kind of story is that uh, the home of the High Elves, Wood Elves, and Khajiit is finally opened its borders, and now all these newcomers are coming in. What's up?
Are the Khajiit, are those the like
The cat
cat-looking people?
people.
Oh, I liked those. That's who I played
Yes.
as when I tried it.
Um, so the Queen has opened the borders, and so now these new people are coming. And some of the people in the area are not so accepting of them. They think that they're going to bring crime and things like that. So there's a lot of like kind of political
Yeah.
aspects to this game, which is interesting. Like the first mission you do has you finding out that a religious cult has been stealing some of these newcomers and sacrificing them to
Shit.
demons. So it's like holy shit. Uh, and you're helping a one of like the queen's top guards, Razam Dar, and like I guess he's like a cop. But for some reason, I'm doing all his dirty work, and I'm like, do I get something out of this? Like he gave me some green pants, which is cool, I guess, but and I'm doing all your work, man. Like you're not even doing anything. You're just standing there looking cool, like with your
That's
red mohawk.
that's how video games work.
I know,
You
just
just do
like
other
it's just a
people's work.
very, I guess so. It's just a very weird, like you're a cop. Like I don't know, if he was just some random dude, like hey, you should help us out. Like things are going bad around here. I think I'd be more okay with it.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I'm having fun with it. I'm interested to get to like some dungeons and stuff because they do have like a you can queue into dungeons and run them with random people. I want to see what that's like. So taking it slow. I'm not gonna get
That's good.
addicted.
That's
Gonna.
good. Yeah.
It's been like 2 days since I played, so that's pretty good for me. Mainly because Destiny is taking up all my time, but
Well,
we'll stay there. Yeah, faction rallies. But we won't talk about that. So
Yet. Yet. We've got
yeah, oh yeah, yet.
Destiny talk later.
Hmm.
All right. So one thing that I've been playing, which I kind of wish we had recorded last night because I played some more today and my opinions have changed a bit. So I start
Oh,
I started playing. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's that game that's F-E, so it's either Fee or Fey, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I don't
I think
know.
it's Faye. I say Faye.
I like
That's my
Fey because it
yeah.
sounds more magical. Um, but anyway, this is like it was on sale for $10 and I was pretty excited about it because it's pretty like beautiful looking game with the art style, and then the point of it is like you're playing as this little creature. I guess he's kind of fox-like. He has big ears and he's real cute. He does have some sharp little teeth that you see sometimes, but he's real adorable. And the mechanic is pretty much you go up to things and you sing at them. And so like if there's other creatures, you can go up and sing with them, and if you sing at the right frequency, you can make friends with them. So the first one I made friends with was this deer, and then when I made friends with him, I got to ride on his back. So that was pretty exciting. And then there's like these little otter creatures, they seem like, and I made friends with them. And so you're just going around. It's really like just you kind of have to learn as you go. It doesn't really like tell you what you're doing. Um, and then you discover there are these bad guys. They're kind of these big hulking guys with like really thin legs and arms, and they shine these lights. And if they catch you or one of the creatures in their light, you get caught in this like trap that's kind of like a ball made of vines. And I guess they're like trapping these creatures and then like taking them places. If you get trapped, you just die and you like reload to the checkpoint and start over, which it's not bad. They have really good checkpointing. So you don't actually do any combat. There's a lot of stealth because you have to like hide from these guys. But then you're just going around kind of you find crystals that help you level up powers, or you're trying to like make friends with different animals. Um, and so the first one I met was like this big bird creature, and these bad guys had stolen some of her eggs, so I had to go like find and rescue her eggs and bring them back to her. And once I got all of them, she communicated with me, and I learned the bird language. And then after
Oh,
that, yeah, so after that, I can always sing my song and call a bird to me, and then the bird will fly off and show me where I should go, like the path to lead to my next objective, which is really cool. So you get the crystals. What?
that was a really weird noise for like usually I'm like, ugh. You're just like, meh. Like,
I'm congested.
sorry.
I'm having problems. I can't help it.
Continue. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So the first ability I got was like I had this ability to climb a tree. And like I said, he's this cute little critter. And so like when you're climbing the tree, he just kind of like hops up in like different stages, so it looks real cute. And so I was getting frustrated because there was this part where I had to climb up the tree, and then there's this big bird that I could talk to, and it would let me ride on its back, which was really cool. And then I had to do some more climbing and jumping, and I'm not the best at climbing and jumping, so I kept falling down. I was playing this the other day when I was kind of sick, and I was like, I don't think I can handle this right now, so I stopped. But then yesterday, I went back and played it some more, and I was doing okay. I got past that part, and I got enough crystals that I unlocked a new ability where I could jump off of a tree from a high distance, and then I could glide. So I'm kind of like flying, and it was super cool. I got really excited when I unlocked that. So I was like, this is great. So then I got kind of reinvigorated by the game, and I was like, this is awesome. But then today I got to this part. There's this really cool section where there's this giant deer, and it's tethered. The monsters have kind of got it tethered with these light traps or whatever, and you have to release it. And so I released it, and then it's walking around in this circle, and you're gonna have to like go climb up this deer. Um, but it's really hard because you have to like find a tall point to start with to jump off of to land on one of these trees that's growing outside of the leg of a deer, and then like jump from different trees that are growing on the deer to try to get all the way to the top. And I can't do it, Cody. I've tried real hard to try to climb this deer. Um, and
So there are trees growing out of the deer.
it's like a mountain-sized deer, and it has trees
So
growing off of
is
its
it actually a
legs.
mountain-sized deer, or is it a regular-sized deer, and you're just a very tiny person like a Smurf?
Well, if I'm tiny, everything else in this world is tiny. Because I mean, there's trees and there's there's regular sized deer, and then this is like the mountain sized deer.
The giant
Yeah,
mountain-sized deer.
so it's
Okay.
just this one. Um,
Because you were like telling me the trees are growing out, and I'm like, and Sam is either really high while playing this game, or this is a very weird game. So I
yeah,
guess it's a really weird
it's
game.
a weird game, but it's pretty cool. But because I watched this walkthrough, and this guy's like, "Yeah, you just jump from here to here to here," and I'm like, "All right, I can do that." No, I cannot do that. Um, I was doing it for like an hour today, keep trying to like climb this deer, and I couldn't do it, and I got really frustrated. So that's where I am right now. I'm I've reached a point where I don't know how to get past this, and I'm very upset that my jumping skills are lacking. Um, but if you're someone who's good at platforming and that type of thing, you would probably really like it. It's a really cool game, and I love the little guy that sings. When you sing to the other animals, it's so cool. And it's just a lot of fun. I'm just not good at this part, so I need to find somebody who can just like come play this for me and get me through this part, and then I can keep going. So, but it's really cool, and I think people should check it out. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Um, Cody, what else you got?
So I think we both played the Mario Tennis Aces demo that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Boy, was this a real big disappointment for me. I was super excited for this fucking game. I was like, hell yeah, I get to play Waluigi. Like, I like tennis as a sport, tennis games, because like this jam, and I played like Wii
Mm-hmm.
tennis back in the day. And like, I think I will get this game. I think I will get it when it's on a sale because I don't enjoy how reliant. some of the quote unquote super moves are,
Mm-hmm.
because like you have like your ultimate ability that every character gets, but then like the like charging up and doing a star smash and like doing all this lobbing, and like I wasn't really enjoying some of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently you can turn it off in the real game. I also didn't like that like you had to win matches to get points to unlock characters in the demo to play as, and that's the only way you could unlock to play as Waluigi in the demo.
Oh, I
I
didn't
want
know
to play
that.
Waluigi from the start.
Yeah.
Because here's the issue. That game, that demo, did not have the best internet capabilities, apparently.
No,
I hear this
it's
from a lot of people. Every match I played, I would go to hit the ball back at somebody, and my character would teleport across the screen. And I'm like, so I missed, and like I lost the game like 3 games in a row in like under a minute. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I don't, I'm done with this demo. Um, I was really excited for this demo because I was like, yeah, this is like gonna show me how much I enjoy this game, and unfortunately I didn't. So I'm
yeah.
gonna pick it up when it's on sale eventually, probably around Christmas. But how did you like it, Sam?
I did not care for it. First
Yeah,
off, I don't care for tennis games to begin with, really. Um, Second, there's a lot going on in this game. There are so
yeah,
many different things you have to like learn how to do, and like you have to there's like super moves, and then there's like you can learn to block, but you also have to do it this way, and I'm like, what? And then you have like your trick shot where you like jump across the court to get to the other side. That thing is
yeah.
just a disaster every time because like as soon as you
Because
start to do it, it's too late and you don't get over there in time.
yeah,
um
and then half the time you end up missing. Like your character just goes like right through the ball, and you're like, what?
No, it's just a mess. Like, I personally didn't have any problems with like the lag or the network stuff once I was able to get in. It took me a while to like even just be able to play because it kept saying it wasn't available. But now it's just like I didn't have fun with it. I was really not good at it. And I just if I'm gonna play a game that's somewhat like that, I just want to play Disc Jam. Because Disc Jam's a lot of fun. It's got fun music. It's just quick paced. Like you just get in and can handle it. And like there's complicated stuff you can do in that, but it's just mostly about like how you rotate the joystick before you do your shot. And like you don't have to do the high level stuff. And it seems like if you're not doing the high level stuff in Mario Tennis, you're going to be at a supreme disadvantage. Unless you play the simple method, but then it's just like, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but I wasn't super excited about it. I'm not super into like Mario sports games. So I didn't really go into it expecting
I mean, this
much.
is gonna have a story mode, so like I will. That's the only reason I'm really gonna pick it up. Like if this was just all online stuff, like I would not pick this up. Because there's gonna be a story mode, so it would be something else to do besides the online. So that's why I would pick it up when it's on sale. But yeah, a lot going on in that game, and I was just not
Yeah.
didn't enjoy it. And that sucks.
I think there's probably motion controls of some sort that you can use, I would guess.
I think yeah, because I think you said you can pop off
Yeah.
the Joy Cons and use them.
With that in mind, I think your niece is going to kick your butt when you play with her. Just FYI.
Touche. All right, good point. I don't know how much of a tennis fan she is, but
I bet she'll do it just to kick your butt.
probably she'll just kick her butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So that was
that
that was a letdown.
that's disappointing. But let's end this on a high note and let me tell you about something that was super surprising and super fun. There's this game called Tumblestone, okay? This I went to my Twitch Prime games, which I don't know if it was last month or this month, but if you've been claiming your Twitch Prime games, you should have this game. Um, it was one of the free games. And so basically it's this really cute game. You're playing as Cleopatra and you are wanting to get across the desert so you can go eat your Caesar salad, which is hilarious. And her character is really minimal importance because really she's just at the bottom of the screen, and then it's kind of like a Tetris setup, but all the blocks are at the top and it's just single blocks. They're different colors, and it's a match three, so you just have to shoot up and hit three of the same color to clear them out of the way, and your goal is just to get them all cleared away. Um, so they can just be, whichever ones are on top, or there can be like two or three stacked in a row that you get. Um, so it's a pretty simple concept, and when you start out, I mean, it's a really simple thing to play through. But then as the levels progress, it starts to get harder, and like you have to really pay attention and be like, well, I have to do these in this order, or else I'll need this block free next, and if I don't do it right, and so you'll have to restart and do it. So it's like a little puzzle game, but it's a lot of fun. Once like every 10 levels, you get to like a little special level, and in this one, the blocks normally they just stay up there. They're all there, and you just clear them out. On the 10th levels, they start dropping down, and so it's like you're under a timer, and you got to get them cleared out. And so those are usually actually a little bit easier than the other levels because like you're just doing it against the time more than like really having to plan it out. But it's a lot of fun. And then you get to a point where this guy comes up and the Goblin King shows up, and you're like, oh no, here's my enemy, the Goblin King. I'm gonna have to fight him. But then it turns out that the Goblin King and Cleopatra are buddies and they just hang out together. And then
What is this game?
I know it's crazy fun. Um, so there's 30 levels in a world, and so you get to the 30th level to complete the world, and it's this little like battle between you and the Goblin King, and so you've got this stuff that's moving down, and you have to like try to get it cleared out faster than he can. And it's just a lot of fun. The puzzles can be challenging, but they're not too hard. I think the longest I spent on a level was like 8.5 minutes. So that was like, I had to restart quite a few times before I could finally figure it out, but I eventually did. And it's just fun. These blocks, so like they're all different colors, and they kind of have some of them have different faces on them. So like the blue blocks all have this kind of sad face on them, and then like the purple ones have this real goofy looking face, and like sometimes on the purple ones a little tongue will kind of slip out the edge of their mouth, and it'll just kind of stick its tongue out at you briefly. So it's really fun and playful. I highly recommend this game if you just want something where you're like, oh, this is another one that I was playing while I was sick, so I was like, I can't handle real video games, I need to do something else. And it was just really peaceful and fun to play when I wasn't feeling good, so I highly recommend it.
Let's see if it's on a. Sounds like a good Switch game. Let's see if it's on the Switch.
Oh, that would be good if it had the touch controls so we could do that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I'd probably buy it if it was on Switch. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
about to look that up. That's pretty cool.
But everyone should have it if you're getting your Twitch Prime games. So keep that in mind. Okay. Um, do you want to talk about Destiny 2 real quick?
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can head into the. Well, we got a couple things to
We
talk
got a
about today.
couple things.
Um, so this past Tuesday, Destiny 2 announced their big Year 2 reveal. The new expansion is called Forsaken. We're going to a lawless area of the Reef. If you remember from Destiny 1, the Reef is where we got to see the Woken Queen and all that. We're going to a different area this time, and a lot of new stuff coming with this. They haven't revealed the story stuff. That's going to probably be shown at Sony's press conference because they have a deal with them. So we know a little bit about
Oh,
how we're going.
I was
Oh,
confused. I thought we did know. I thought part of the story was that we were going
we know,
to the prison. I thought the story was the prison break, and we had to fight the
but yeah,
barons that
that's
had broke out.
part of the story. But we're going to know like more on
Oh, okay.
Tuesday from the
Okay.
Sony press conference. So if you remember the Prison of Elders, Cade's been filling it up, and now these people have broken out. So we're going to be hunting down some outlaws. They actually have a mode called Baron Hunt, where we're going to be hunting down 8 barons, and each one has a kind of like different feel to them. They said like there's going to be a sniper baron, so you're going to want to have a sniper battle with him because he's not going to let you get in close with like a shotgun. So that'd be really really cool. We're getting some new supers. Apparently,
Hmm.
each subclass is getting a new super. Um, Sam, did which of the ones you saw in the video? Which one did you like the most?
Okay. Here's I gotta admit something to you, Cody. I was a bad podcaster and I was also a bad employee because what happened was this happened while I was at work and I was like, well, I don't want to, I'm so excited. I need to know what's going on. So I was listening to it on my computer while I was at work. And also I was like, well, I kind of want to see what's happening, but I was like working. So I was like, well, I could have the video up on my phone a little bit. And so I could like peek over and see a little bit of the video on my phone. So I would just see little flashes of stuff that looked really cool, but I did not actually see what any of the new supers would be.
So the kind of ones they showed off was like the Void Warlock has like a you teleport around and it kind of seems like you're conducting energy as you
Oh,
teleport and then you do a huge explosion.
nice.
The Arc Warlock has a giant like beam, almost similar to Moira's beam from Overwatch,
Oh,
how it
okay.
travels across the screen very far. Uh, the Sunbreaker Titan gets a two-handed hammer,
Hmm.
kind of like the axe from Rise of Iron. Uh, and then Hunters, they have the Void. You get like it looks like you get two katanas in your hands,
Hmm.
and like you can teleport around and you're invisible, so you're just
Yeah.
slashing up things. And then the Golden Gun one, you can get a some fire throwing knives, like a bunch of them. Like I think they're called kunai, the actual term. So those are pretty exciting. I
That
hope
sounds
there's
cool.
actually a good like lore reason
Hmm.
why they're in the game because I get it. It's cool. It's cool to have these new supers and it's getting new gameplay, but like I don't know. I like the story behind the Sunbreaker Titan. So like if magically I can hold a two-handed hammer, I want to like good lore reason behind that.
Okay, what's
Um,
the lore behind your Sunbreaker?
so there's a group of Titans who went to found a forge on Mercury, and they reached into the forge and they pulled out the Hammer of Soul, and so that's where you get the hammers that you throw from the Sunbreaker class.
Couldn't they have just reached further and pulled out a bigger hammer?
Possibly, I guess we'll find out. I guess I just hope there's a good reason behind that. I do hope we get to go back into the creepy forest and we get to see the little
Yeah,
projections again because I like that.
I
That's my favorite part of Destiny 2.
seriously, I loved that part when you would go to the forest and get the little vignettes that told the stories right before you got your power. That was really cool.
Because there's a lot of cool ones in there, like how like Shax talks about Saladin and Aphrodite, and how like Aphrodite would throw Saladin and he would do the Striker Titan super
Yeah.
onto like Fallen and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a bunch of new supers. I mean, nine altogether. So that's really exciting. They're introducing a new weapon, the compound bow. There's going to be a short range, medium range, and long range. So it kind of seems like you're going to want to have one to compensate your play style. Like if you have a sniper rifle as like your secondary, you're going to want a short range or medium range bow as like a primary.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Hope hope it's not too overpowered in PvP. Hope I'm not getting one shotted by them.
I'm sure you will
Um,
until they get it worked out, but that's fine.
Probably. There seems like this design goal they're having lately is just if it's broken, let it like sort itself out. So, because like you got the Graviton Lance and the Vigilance Wing in Destiny 2 right now, they're just wrecking house, and
Yeah.
they're not gonna nerf it because they don't want to nerf anything. So,
Yeah.
um, a very exciting thing, a new PvP slash PvE game mode called Gambit. It's a like horde mode, but it's 4v4, and you're collecting tokens, and you're trying to stop the enemy team from beating their boss. So you keep collecting these tokens. Once you have enough, you summon the prime evil boss, as they put it, and if the first team to kill the boss wins. Now, where this gets spicy is you can send somebody over by donating tokens, and they can. So you really kind of want to send someone as a super. They go
Hmm.
over. Hopefully, they don't get destroyed. They kill all of them. They get their tokens from the enemies. Come back to your side, deposit. These people are out of now down a bunch of tokens that they've been holding on to. So you kind of want to play safe, but you kind of want to play dangerously because like you never know when you're going to want to like block them from summoning their boss. So it seems really interesting. What are your thoughts on that game mode, Sam?
It seems interesting. Um, Cody, I don't like change, really. I don't like new things. So that one sounds like, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see how it is. It sounds like it's going to be harder than your normal PvP, so I might not be into it. one other thing that they've announced also is that I think quick play is going to go back to 6v6 all the time. Um,
Yes.
and Cody, I have to tell you, I'm not happy about that. Now, let me tell you also, before Destiny 2 launched and they were like, oh, we're changing PvP to 4v4, I was very unhappy about that. I was like, no, why? I need 6 players. Now that I've been playing it, I'm like, no, I like the 4 players. I don't want 6 players again. So, like I mentioned earlier, I flip flop all the time. And I'm just very difficult to please. So, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fun, but I'm not super excited about it as far as that goes.
I am very excited for Gambit. I think this is a very interesting game mode. I can see myself losing a lot of hours in that. Um, I so it's gonna have its like own matchmaking thing. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be tied to
No, yeah.
Crucible. It's not gonna be tied to like planets. It's just gonna have its own little thing up in the
Mhm.
corner. Just click on go. So I hope there's like I hope the rewards for doing it are
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
Like I hope you like oh hey like it has its own loot pool. Like hey if you want the Gambit set you gotta go play Gambit. Like I hope that's kind of what it is. If you want the special Gambit compound bow you have to go play Gambit. Like I want that kind of stuff. I hope they do
Mhm.
that with it. I don't want it to like just drop any random
Yeah.
weapon because I want it to be special. Like there's
Mhm.
gotta be a reason to play it. And I'm sure like they said they're gonna like refine it over the next couple months, make sure it's actually like decent. Like there's nothing game breaking about it because I'm sure like it would really suck if you going in and like you're about to kill the boss and then someone comes over and just striker titans you to death at the
Yeah.
last second. So I'm sure there's gonna be like a window where it's like, hey, you can go over during this time and stop the enemy, but like if the boss is like a sliver of health left, then no, we're not gonna like do that. Like you've already lost.
Mhm.
So um, they have a new raid zone. It's gonna be an actual living like world. I've completely forgotten the name. It's something city.
Is it the Dreaming City?
The Dreaming City.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go there, and the raid is there, but it's also like a space you can do things like quests and all
Yeah.
that. And they said it's going to evolve over time as people go through the raid. Apparently, this raid
Oh.
is going to have the most bosses they've ever had. So the most bosses they've ever had is 4
Okay.
in King's Fall and Destiny 1. So I hope they're not just going to be like, oh, it's the most we've ever had. It's actually just 5. I hope there's actually something going on. I am excited we're going back to boss mechanics because I like the Leviathan raid. But I don't like that there's no like Callus is the only boss, really. Like I guess you can count the dogs. And then like in the raid layers there's only one boss per and like there's usually like a jumping puzzle or something and then the
Yeah.
boss. So I hope there's actually like actual I'm glad we're going back to actual real boss encounters because like my first raid was the Rise of Iron Wrath of the Machine raid and that was so much fun because it was all bosses and like you had to work as a team together and like there wasn't no weird like in a new raid new raid layer it's like you're playing hot potato with this ball all the time and it's kind of a dumb mechanic eventually you're like ah, this is so
Yeah.
annoying um so it'd be interesting to see Sam you don't raid a lot so how are you feeling
Well,
about
I've
it
only rated the once, Cody. You're being generous. Um,
yeah
we're gonna go back now that I'm OP'd and can hopefully do it without dying so much. But I'm really excited about the Dreaming City. It sounds really cool, and like what I saw of it when I was glancing at my phone briefly, it looked fantastic. And so I'm really excited that it's going to be a place we can go not just for the raid, but for other stuff. Because obviously I would not be raiding there for quite some time. But yeah, it looks really cool, and I'm so excited about that. So yeah, I can't wait to see what all the new story is in these new worlds that we've got. Because one thing they were talking about with the Forsaken and the Jailbreak was kind of like an old Western type theme to it. They said something
yeah
about like tumbleweeds in space, and that got me pretty excited. So I'm just excited to see what that's all about. But yeah.
and then there's like a bunch of other like changes they're adding. Like they're adding the collections that you usually can
Oh
view in
yeah.
your vault will now be improved upon, and you can actually it'll be on the main menu. And there's gonna be things called triumphs, where like this is gonna be where like almost like the Grimoire score
Mhm.
in Destiny 1, but then other things like you like kind of how you get lore through the game. So that's really cool because right now the only way to get lore is certain gear has a show lore tab. So.
I
That'll
did
be
not
nice.
know that. I've never once looked at lore
Every
on
exotic
gear.
has a show. Every exotic has a show lore tab, and then some legendaries.
Never once.
Um, they're improving the weapon slot system, where now you can have, if you want 3 shotguns, if you want to do the
Yeah.
Destiny 2 method of like 2 primaries, or if you want to do the old school Destiny 1, where like shotguns and snipers can be your secondary instead of your heavy. So that's really good. Because I know a lot of people complain about that. They're redoing mods. They're redoing Masterworks, kind of make it to where like it's almost like a leveling up of your gun, the way you do Masterworks. Because now Masterworks are just like you get a random roll on a gun. That's another thing. They're bringing back random rolls, so your perks will come with different guns. Will come with different perks. Not your perks will come with different guns.
So I didn't fully understand that. So like right now, if you get a gun, it's always going to have the same perks. But now in the future, if you get
Yes.
a gun, there's no telling what perk it might get. So we could get different ones.
Yeah. And
Okay.
like they said the way they're gonna balance that out is that now every gun is gonna have 2 mods. So like say you get a gun, say you really want kill clip on a gun, but you get a different perk. That's actually kind of decent. But now you'll get a mod for kill clip that you can like grind out and put on your gun. So you still get the best of both worlds. So if you finally get the gun, but what doesn't have the perk you want, you can get the perk you want by doing the mods. And then armor is going to start having stats again, like how it did in Destiny 1. It's not just like, because right now armor is sort of just there to make you look how you want to look, which is cool, but having armor that gives you a benefit is also kind of nice.
I mean, some of the armor has stuff that comes with it. I don't understand what the difference is here.
The armor that comes with stuff has mods on them.
Hmm.
This is going to be like actually like stats and like a non-mod thing, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like how in
No, but
Destiny
that's fine.
1.
I don't remember
Okay.
Destiny 1 at all. I
It's just
remember I
going to
had
be
a good
like
time, but
your armor is going to be like guns, where there's going to be perks on it instead of just a mod that gives you a perk.
okay. I mean, whether it just has the perk default or whether it has a mod with a perk, it still has a perk, so I don't understand the difference, but it doesn't
There's
matter.
going to be more than one, pretty much
Does
is what I'm saying.
okay, it's fine.
Anyways,
It's fine. We'll get
bunch of changes coming to Destiny in September. On September 4th, it'll be $40. How do we feel about that price point?
um I mean, it's a lot, but I'm gonna pay for it, obviously, because why
Yeah,
not?
never mind.
I'm not sure how I
Um,
feel about the annual pass. I don't understand what this is. If it doesn't have actual like new story adventure stuff, I'm not getting it because I just don't need extra like weapons and stuff.
oh, uh, so yeah, real fast. I think $40 is fine. There was a bunch of people were expecting this to be free. I would never expect that.
No.
People work on this. This is
Yeah,
like say what you will about Crystal Osiris and Warmind. People worked on that, so
yeah.
that you still have to pay for it. It's $40. I'm fine with that. They also announced they're moving to a model called the annual pass. This is kind of so they can provide content throughout the year. It's $30, and there's going to be like kind of 3 big drops. They said this will add story. It just won't be as focused on cinematics, like how Warmind and Crystal Osiris, you got like stories like a cinematic of Osiris and a cinematic of Anna Bray. It'll just add more quests and stuff, and other gear and stuff like that. It's
Here's the thing, Cody.
is the thing,
I
so
I love Destiny 2 cinematics, okay?
I do too. I agree with you.
Like they're so well done. I mean, that's the main reason why you and I are debating buying Destiny 2 again on Xbox, just so we'd be able to replay the story again if we ever wanted to, because we have all of our character slots already filled up. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, it's that's that good of a game. Also, it's because it's $10 at Best Buy right now. So, not the point. What was the point? I don't know how I feel about this annual pass is the point. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see what it really gives you and if it's what I want or not. Cause I don't always go back and do just random adventures that are just out there in the world. If they're not the main story, I don't always do them.
I sometimes do. Like there are some adventures I haven't done on certain planets, but like I, for the most part, have done a lot of stuff in Destiny 2 currently. Um, I won't be buying it day one. Like I'll just
Mhm.
buy Forsaken, and when they have actually like kind of shown like, hey, what the first
Mhm.
drop is. I think the first drop is called like the Black Armory. Sorry, hit my mic. Um, so once they've kind of gone over that, then I'll feel more comfortable dropping my $30. But I think no matter what, I'll end up still getting it
Okay.
because like currently my current problem with Destiny 2 is I missed a lot of the stuff in season 2 for Christopher Cyrus. Like there's all these armors and ornaments for stuff that I missed, and I'm really mad at myself for missing them. So I don't want to miss out on anything.
And see, I am like, I don't care about collecting any of that stuff. I just like to go shoot things. So I'm just like, meh,
But yeah, so maybe the annual pass isn't like
maybe it's
for
not.
you as a player. So I
All
mean,
right.
I guess that's kind of the point.
I know we've talked about this quite a bit. Can we talk about Destiny just a little bit more and talk about the faction rally that's going on right now and how we feel about it?
I don't see why not. It's our
Okay.
show. We do what we want.
We do what we want. I gotta say, I am not a fan of this new faction rally and the way that it works. Because what happens is you're out in the world doing stuff and you get renown, which you get different levels of renown, and the higher you get, the higher the reward tokens you get for your faction, which is great. But also, the less damage your gun does, and your health does not regenerate, and it makes it really hard. And I'm out here doing just like other random stuff, and I'm getting this renown, and I'm like, God, this is making it really hard to play the game. And like, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to turn that off and just like play some regular and not have to worry about my renown going up.
I I think it adds a challenge
It does add a challenge.
to the patrol areas because like you
Hmm.
have to play a little smarter. Um, I don't think it's the best system to do this because I spent like 2 hours last night grinding tokens. Because like I don't agree with how they did the rewards. How they tied it to each faction gets a certain gun catalyst, which is kind of what everyone's going for because catalysts are which we're all trying to get currently. Um, I think they should have made it to where the rewards are when you get to 50, you have a choice of three, so you could still
Oh,
pledge. Because his issue is like you taking away that whole like people like I love Dead Orbit, but say Johnny Two Shoes over here is a diehard Future War Cult member, but now he if he wants the Graviton Catalyst has to go sign up for Dead Orbit. So his Future War Cult pride is now hindered because he's for Dead Orbit this month.
it's
So I think
true.
they really should have just put it as, hey, get to 50. Here's your choice of the three, but you can stay as Future War Cult if you want. I think they should really up how you get tokens from other things. Like PvP should be getting you like 5 tokens on a win, 2 tokens on a loss, just how like Iron Banner is. Doing a raid should give you a shit ton of tokens because you only get 3 for completing each thing, and it's
Seriously?
like that's some of the hardest like stuff.
That's bullshit.
Uh, I did notice if you do like strikes in a row, they kind of like 'cause Byron, our friend Byron and I did like 3 strikes in a row. The first one we got 7, the next one we got 12, and then the next one we got 21.
Oh,
So it kind of like was going up. And I wanted he left before we could see like what the fourth strike would have given us. So I do wonder if there's something going on with that. But like yeah, the best way to farm the tokens is like I found you go to the planet Titan because it's such a small area that you can run everywhere really. You find a public event, you do the heroic, you get 3 renown, you do 2 patrols real quick, you go into a lost sector, and you just kind of rinse and repeat for a couple hours. And like I was averaging about 100 tokens an hour, so it's not bad. Like I'm at like rank 36 right now.
oh my
I,
God, Cody. Oh my God. I have 80 tokens and I'm like, how much is that going to level me up? Because I don't think I'm going to do much more before
it's
Tuesday when it ends.
yeah,
Um,
it's
so
10 or 20 per level,
Okay.
so
So
it's 4
obviously,
levels.
I am never going to get anywhere near 50. So obviously, I'm never going to get the Graviton Lance Catalyst. So obviously, I wasted pledging to Dead Orbit when I should have stayed with my Future War Cult, which is the one I liked. So for me, this has been a big waste of time, and I'm not happy about it, and I don't like it.
And they haven't really commented on if faction rally like levels will carry over.
I
So
don't think
like
they
if
will.
you pledge, I don't think they will either. So like if you pledge Dead Orbit again, are you still going to be at hypothetically 10, or are you going to be at 0? So like
Zero.
this, And like I feel like faction rallies really should run for 2 weeks. They shouldn't run for 1 week.
They
But
should
I
be.
do think if they run for 2 weeks, you should be able to do like a little checkbox, like, hey, I don't want to do renown, because it makes doing escalation
Yes.
protocol a fucking
Yes.
nightmare.
Seriously. Well, I've learned my lesson. I just shouldn't pledge to a fucking faction next time this comes up, and then I won't have to deal with it. Because, I mean, really, what's the point for me?
Yeah, it makes it kind of feel like if you're not a diehard person who really wants something, you don't have like a chance because like
Yeah.
there's no. I mean, granted, if you have 3 characters and you run, they give you like a daily milestone for your faction, and if you do that, you get an extra 15 tokens. And I think I did it on all three, and I had 0 tokens to start. If you did it on all three, I got to 100 tokens by doing today's was go to a lost sector on Nessus with 3 renown. So I did that real fast. So yeah, but that's a lot of time. Took me like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
think they can do some improvements. I think it's a nice idea, but they can definitely make a lot of improvements with it.
All right. So,
So that's it.
enough about Destiny, but perhaps not enough about Bungie. Because we had a news story this week that, is it NetEase is the company?
Yes.
They have invested in Bungie to create a new IP. And I'm pretty excited about this. Cody, I put on our notes that we should each pick out what kind of game we would like Bungie to develop next with this sweet NetEase money. Um, do you have something?
I do, but here's the thing I think we should kind of realize NetEase works in mobile game
God damn it!
space.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they kind of work on the but I feel like for this one they will publish an actual real game, the way they make it sound. Um, I think Bungie is very well known for their shooters. I feel like they're gonna go with an RPG shooter in the vein of like Fallout, not open world, but like like a shoot like you shoot stuff in Fallout, but it's also an RPG. Um, they've done space like really well with Destiny and Halo, so I think they're gonna go for like a post-apocalyptic world shooter. That's what I think, and that's what I kind of would like to see from them.
Okay. Well, I'm
Or-
still pissed off and feeling that you pooped all over my idea. If this turns out to be a fucking mobile game, I'm gonna be pissed. But let's pretend that it's definitely not going to be that, okay? So I was thinking about this and I got real excited because what I would like to see, Cody, there was this game that came out called Underworld Ascension. And when I heard about it, I was like, ooh, is this like based on the Underworld movies? That would be awesome.
I thought the same thing.
It was not. So, but what if we had a Bungie shooter set in the underworld type world? So you've got vampires, you've got werewolves, it's very dark all the time. It would kind of almost be like a Bloodborne setting. I don't care, it could be like the 1800s. Um, but like your guns, like sometimes you would get like light bullets that you would use to shoot the vampires and they would like explode light and stuff. It could be really cool. You could get like rapid fire crossbows or something. I don't know. I think there could be some really neat stuff that could go there and it would be like right on the edge of horror, if not total horror also. I'm excited about it. I think it'd be really cool.
That would be. Um, I don't know. We have to wait and see, I guess.
Are you gonna
Uh,
poop all over my idea again? It looks like you're about to poop on it.
no, so like if you read the press release, so NetEase has given them is a million or 100 million?
Surely it's 100 million. A million doesn't do much
100
these
million.
days.
I think it was like 500 million for the Destiny universe is what Activision gave them.
Okay.
The CEO kind of made a point that the reason they made this deal is so that they could self-publish, and the wording he chose kind of makes me sound like Bungie would like to get away from Activision.
Hmm.
Um, like they're not happy with what's going on. So it kind of makes me wonder if some of the decisions that led to Destiny 2
Yeah.
was an Activision thing because you have the Eververse and now it's all microtransactions. Um, I wonder if we see Bungie try to get out of the contract because right now Bungie and Activision have a 10-year contract,
Hmm.
and that's for 3 Destiny games in the universe. So I wonder if you can. It's up to Activision if they let Bungie leave the contract, though. So I do wonder what we see from that. Um, 'Cause I think right now we're on. I think we're halfway done. We're year 5 with that contract. So it'll be interesting. Because I don't know, some of the wording he chose just really made me feel like he's not happy with where the company is going under Activision. So they really want to self-publish their next game. So that'll be interesting to see
Yeah,
what happens next. I don't think we see this game for a long time. I think we're
no,
on the PS5 by then. Like I
yeah.
think that'll be, or if it is a mobile game, I guess we'll see.
Fuck you.
Because they
Don't
have
even say it. I don't want to hear this
they
mobile
have
bullshit.
published mobile games in the past. They published like a pirate mobile game before Destiny 1 came out. So who knows?
It's
I don't think
just,
it will be.
I
I
don't
think
know
they're too big of
why
a company at
you
this
just want
point.
to crush my dreams. It's
I'm not trying to
very
crush your dreams.
crude of you.
I mean, I'm just saying I don't think we're ever get an Underworld video game. But I mean, I love those movies. I love those movies, and I thought the same thing when Underworld Ascended
I'm
came
not
out. I was
saying
like,
it has to be
fuck yeah.
underworld. I'm just saying, like, vampires and werewolves, dark horror, it could be awesome, okay? It's fine.
Did you watch the Underworld movie where they it's the one like it's like the prequel and it's where you learn about how the war between the vampire and werewolf started? I
I,
want to say
f-
it's like Rise of the Lycans or something.
I feel that I have. I feel that I've
I
seen
love that
all of
movie.
the Underworld
Such a fucking good
movies.
movie.
I don't necessarily remember anything from them, much at all.
I didn't see the most recent one because I felt like the most recent one was really weird. But anyways, video games.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, that's fine. Um, I don't. Oh wait, can I? Let's just have just a real quick esports update, okay? Because I know you don't care anymore. But you
I
just
do
made a
care.
face.
I
You just made
still
a face.
watch.
Okay. So let's go back to I don't know, it was either Wednesday or Thursday night. I was tuned in and I was like, oh, Shanghai Dragons are playing, and they got to a place where they were up 2-1, and I got real excited and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to jinx this, but I texted Cody because I'm like, hey man, just in case you might want to tune in case this is the night that history is made. Um, Unfortunately, I guess it did get jinxed. I think we all jinxed it or something. It did not turn out. It it turned pretty quickly. They lost the next map, and then it went to a game five. It was a control point, and it went to all 3 points. But they did not end up winning, and it was very disappointing. But the thing, it was so people just love Shanghai Dragons so much, and they root for them so hard. And like while the game was going on, like you could hear the audience just chanting in the background. It was one of those like, "Let's go Dragons, let's go!" And it was like they were so excited for them, and it's just like, one of these days it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be glorious. That's all I can say. The whole world is rooting for them. What?
For the record, I do care about esports, and I did watch. I tuned in, and I felt like I was the reason they were losing, so I instantly stopped watching them. Um, the big takeaway I heard, because like I tuned in, I watched the one game, and then they started losing real bad, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna stop watching now. Uh, they made the commentary made a note about a player named Fearless, and how
Mhm.
he refuses to play Reinhardt, like he won't play that character, and I was like, that's a sign of a not good player or
Yeah.
teammate if you're choosing not to play something. Like, no, you like just need to adapt. Like, come on. Like, if you're a tank player, gotta be able to play them all, in my opinion. But anyways,
And what was really weird was when we were on the fourth map, it was Watch Point Gibraltar, and the commentators were the whole time were talking about how I feel really bad right now as a podcaster because I can't remember who Shanghai was playing. Doesn't matter. Their opponent, uh,
mayhem, Florida
Mayhem. Oh,
mayhem.
right, Florida Mayhem, because it was like another one of the lower level teams where they like really stood a chance. But Mayhem was running Reinhardt and some other stuff, and they were like, man, it's weird that the Dragons are sticking with their composition right here. They're not changing at all for this map. They're just trying to power through. It's not working for them. And then they went to the fifth map, and on that map, they completely changed their composition. And there what I think Fearless did play Reinhardt on that one, and like there was just weird stuff. Like I don't know why they switched there, but they didn't switch before. It was just really weird. But I don't know. Doesn't matter. Um,
Yeah.
the next day, I think LA Gladiators were playing New York Excel, and they had a reverse sweep, and they beat New York Excel, which was pretty exciting. It's always exciting anytime that team gets beaten, just because they're so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it is.
I will say that I feel like during the last stage, towards the end of it, I feel like I heard that like New York Excel would like try different things and do different things and maybe not play their best completely because they wanted to save like their good techniques for the finals. And so it's like it's
Yeah.
always possible that they're doing that, which is kind of sad. But hey, I'm happy for LA Gladiators. That was an awesome win for them. And this is the team that they played in the stage 3 finals where New York Excel got to pick their opponent, and they were like, "Oh, we'll pick LA Gladiators because they'll be easy." So suck on that, New York Excel. Um, and then just finally, today is Pride Day at the Blizzard Arena. So I was watching a little bit of the game before we started recording, and it was just fun to see like everyone. They've got these rainbow like armbands, and then just people in the audience are going crazy with stuff. There's a lot of like fun shirts. There's this guy who had like a really elaborate rainbow wig, so that was exciting. It's just nice to see all that out there. So good for them for supporting uh, queer people of all types in Pride. So that was fun. Um, I think that's all I have to say about esports for right now. So you don't have anything.
I know LA Gladiators did it again today, where they reverse sweep London Spitfire.
Fuck yeah, LA Gladiators, they are going
So they're
for it.
just, yeah, they're going for it. So
Yeah. So this
I'm excited for the finals. I want to see how like what happens. Like maybe some crazy upset will happen. New York XL will crash their car and no one will be injured, but no one can make it to the arena. Um,
or maybe
no
they
one's
just
injured. I
won't
said.
play very well. I mean maybe that.
I said no one was injured. As I said, just they can't make it to the arena, so they forfeit. If that happens, it was not me. Okay, just for the future. Like,
Okay.
all right.
All right. Um so I think that is all we need to talk about, and we can get into the excitement of today, our E3
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
appetizer. Oh wait, was there something else we need to talk about?
So you put this article about, from Polygon.com talking about change coming to Steam,
Okay.
and I think I think we're gonna have a nice, quick, heated debate about it before we hop into this EA stuff. So you posted this article and you were like, "What the fuck?" And I clicked on the article, and I feel like Polygon went for a very misleading title,
Mm-hmm.
saying that Steam has just given up at this point, and I don't think that was what's happening at all. So, story. A few weeks back, some visual novels that had contained like erotic and half-naked people. Those are the same things. I don't know why I just said that. Uh, got hit by like some reports saying Steam telling them like, "Hey, because of the content of your game, we're gonna pull you from the store." And they were like, "This is bullshit. Like, we got this cleared before they be published to Steam, and now we're like not gonna be able to make money from these." Steam has since like taken those reports away and been like, "Sorry about that. We don't mean for that to happen." Uh, People were reporting them because they didn't want to see them. So what Steam has done now is Steam has said, "Hey, we're going to publish anything that comes to the thing, except for if you're obviously trolling or if it's illegal, because there are like certain topics that are like in like China, I want to say you can't have skeletons. So like obviously any game containing a skeleton will not be put
Having what?
into skeletons.
Oh,
Like
that's
yeah,
weird.
like in World of Warcraft, the undead race in China is like instead of bones sticking out, there's skin covering that. It's like deceased, disease, like gross looking skin, but
Okay.
um, I don't think this is Steam giving up. I think this is Steam recognizing that the Steam marketplace is like an art gallery. This is how Jared and Greg from Kind of Funny put it on Kind of Funny Games Daily. And there's certain type of art you're not going to like to see. So what they're going to do is they're going to have a way for you to curate like what do you want to see. So let's say I really hate video games where they're gigantic anime boobies. I can click a little check mark and I'll never see giant anime boobies on my Steam profile.
Okay.
That's what they want to do here. There are multiple articles like this. I'm not calling out Polygon. Like there's multiple articles from like Kotaku, IGN, all these people saying like Steam's just given up. Steam doesn't care anymore. No, they do care. It's just that you can't restrict what people can make. Like these people are putting their heart and soul into video games, and just because a couple people don't like it and they're getting reported, Steam then has to go and be like, "Hey, we can't have your game on our store," stuff like that. I just think, we live in a world where you're not going to agree with everything you see. Like obviously, like there's some extreme cases, like the school shooting game that
Yeah.
came out. That's straight up trolling. That game should never been put out, and I don't even think it
Okay.
was on Steam. I think it was like a second thing.
Oh, I thought it was on
Um,
Steam.
was it? Yeah, that
Yeah.
should immediately been like that should like whoever passed that should probably get a re-look at their job. Um,
Okay, so that falls under trolling. I wasn't sure what that
yeah,
really. Okay.
yeah, like they're gonna like curate to an extent, but like
Okay.
visual novels that have erotic material, like
Okay.
obviously like certain people don't want that. Like people don't want to like see half-naked people when they're browsing the Steam store.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're in public on a laptop, that could be a little awkward.
Well, and I
So
mean,
you could like,
Steam has like a thing where you have to confirm your age before you continue to like see stuff.
yeah.
So it's like
So
they do that.
yeah, but they're gonna like make it to where you can have a detailed list of like what you want to play, like what games will show to you. Like, do you hate FPSs? You won't see FPSs,
Okay.
stuff like that. So I don't agree with all these headlines saying Steam's just given up. They don't care about their users. Like, no, they do. It's just that they recognize that you can't silence art because then you're not letting the good art through. If you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think
Um,
this is really good because I think you've explained it to me a lot better than I originally understood it. And it makes a lot more sense now, and I'm cool with it. Because like I
yeah,
thought they were saying games like the active shooter game was like, okay, fine, if you want that up there, it'll be up there. And I was like, that's not okay. Sometimes you do have to take a stand about stuff. So, okay, so that makes more sense now. I'm okay with it. I want my erotic
I did,
visual novels to stay on the game, so that's fine.
yeah. I really felt like a lot of people just took that like what they did and just ran with it and put it like an outlandish title on it
Yeah,
and was like, oh, like Steam doesn't care. No, they do. You're just choosing to word it like that. So that was my stance on the whole thing.
cool.
Yeah,
Well, thank you. I learned
no
something new
problem.
today. So
Now let's get to EA.
now let's get to EA. So this is exciting because, we thought we were recording last night. We weren't going to have any E3 coverage. It was going to be real awkward. But now we've at least got EA. So um, let's just say, EA has a lot of stuff about sports. And we're two people who really don't care about sports video games. So pretty much all of that was just like, oh, well, okay. I mean, and we expected that from E3, so I mean from EA. I get so
There
confused because
was
I keep saying E3 and EA, and I'm just like, ah, it's a mess.
there was some guy named the Kiv or something like that. He was an NFL esports guy.
Young
Didn't
Kiv,
get it.
yeah, they were like
Young
telling
Kiv.
his story about like how he wanted to be the Madden champion, and so he like kept never making
He
it, and then
seemed
he made it, and
he
I
seemed
was
like a
just
big
like,
douche.
he did. I was like, I don't care about this guy. Like he kind of sounds like a jerk, and okay, but they had a whole big thing with him. Also, I want to say so Andrea Renee from What's Good Games was hosting the EA press conference, and she did a great job.
Oh
The
yeah.
crowd in the press conference was probably like the worst crowd I've ever seen. They were not excited about anything. At first, we were like, oh, maybe it's just the sports. They're not excited about sports, but they were not excited about anything that got announced during this conference.
So I feel like E3 has definitely changed since I think last year when they started letting fans
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
It went from being like, news outlets and like people who were there to invest to now it's fans. So I think a lot of fans were there, and And obviously, EA has not had the best track record in the past year with the Battlefront 2 debacle and the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of fans went there, and fans did not like EA. So I don't know why you even went to that then. Like you just went there. I think a lot of them wanted to see Anthem. The issue
Yeah.
was Anthem went on last. Um, I thought Angelina did a great job for the
She
crowd
did.
she had to deal with. EA did. EA puts on a very fucking weird press conference. Like besides the sports stuff, we're gonna just get it out here right now. That mobile Command and Conquer game, that was the worst. Like I almost turned off the stream at that point because it was 10 minutes. It was a minute past due. Like after a minute, you should have just been done talking about it. But instead, they did like a live esports shoutcasting of a Command and Conquer game on a phone. That
It
is
was not super exciting. I'm not into that kind of game, and so I wasn't super into watching the gameplay of it either. That was really weird. That
it's
was
very weird.
odd decision. Okay. Let's talk about things that did excite us. So, Andrea sat down with, I don't remember his name, but he's from Respawn. And we didn't get to see any visuals from it, but he told us about the new Star Wars game that Respawn is working on. It's going to be called Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to be set between episodes 3 and episodes 4 when the Jedi are getting hunted down. And you are going to get to play as a Jedi and have Jedi powers. I mean, we didn't hear much, but I'm super excited just from hearing that about it and knowing that it's Respawn, because I love what Respawn did with Titanfall 2. This will be coming out at the end of the year in 2019. So, that's not too far. And, I mean, I'd say probably even before next E3, we'll get to see something for it, probably. Maybe like at the Game Awards this
Yeah,
year or something, we'll see something from it.
I could see either Game Awards or Gamescom this year.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, I didn't really expect to see anything from it. I think it's a little too early for that.
yeah.
That and like they still want to support Battlefront 2, so they kind of want to give that a little bit more limelight. Um,
And I feel so bad for it because they went from this to Battlefront 2 and it was just a letdown. It's like nobody cares about Battlefront 2 anymore. You want this new
uh,
game already.
well, I mean, there's a group of fans because I am on the subreddit for that game.
Yeah.
There's a group of fans who like have been dying for that Clone Wars content. Like they did
Okay.
not care about the solo content.
Yeah.
So the fact that they showed the Clone Wars content means they're actually listening, and that's good for those
That's
people who
good.
actually like that game and want to play it. Um, so when the Amy Hennig game got canceled early this year, I know a lot of people were like, "Well, now we don't get a story-driven Star Wars game," and I feel like a lot of people just forgot that hey, Respawn's making a Star
Yeah.
Wars game.
Yeah.
This sounds like we're getting a nice single-player story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go, folks. We get some Star Wars video games out there, and this, I mean, yeah, I wasn't expecting anything this year because not that this is going to be like it. Okay, it's probably going to be a shooter because that's what Respawn does well with Titanfall, obviously. Um,
Yes, but also, I mean, you're gonna get that lightsaber. She clarified that you're gonna get a lightsaber. So,
yeah. Um, and so because this year just battle, I think what they're doing is like Battlefield game, Star Wars game, Battlefield game, Star Wars game is how they're like doing it.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So next year would be the Star Wars year since we're
Okay.
getting Battlefield 5 this year. So yeah, Battlefield 2 announced we're getting the Clone Wars season. We're getting General Grievous, Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker,
Mhm.
and some other people will be showing up as well. We assume Ahsoka from the show. Um, so that's really cool. They really talked about Ewok Hunt for a very long time, so it makes me think that's going to come back as a permanent mode,
And it
or they're
wasn't a
coming up
good
with.
mode. I hated that mode. I was really
I
excited
never
when
got
I
to
heard
try it,
about it.
unfortunately.
I went in and tried it, and it was so dark, and those fucking Ewoks just like sneak up on you and kill you before you even have a chance. It was so hard.
So yeah, I mean, once this update goes live, I'll probably hop back in, see what it's all
Yeah.
about, because they are introducing like a new mode they talked about very briefly, so I'm interested to see what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think after that or before that was Unravel 2.
Yes, and this was exciting because they had like this. this stormy boat and you think it's gonna be like this big action thing, and then you see Yarny in there and it's like, oh, here we go. And this looks so adorable because it's a two-player co-op, but it's only local co-op, just FYI, which is very disappointing. Um, because let me tell you, when I first saw that and saw the co-op and saw them like going along together and doing stuff, my first thought was like, oh, me and Cody should get this and we should make a video of it and it's going to be awesome. Followed quickly by, oh, that's a horrible idea because I'm horrible at platformers and I'll get so angry at this game and we do not want that on video. I never finished Unravel 1 because I was just like so bad at it. But it was a really fun game. It was very emotional because like it's tied to like the first Unravel starts with you're in like this grandma's house and like you're kind of remembering things and going through her memories, and it gets me real emotional. So this one did too, and even the developer who was on stage talking about it, you could see him getting emotional about it, and it was really sweet. But it looks really cool, like the mechanics now of having Yarny and his buddy, and just like the way you're jumping around and like flinging off of each other and stuff. It looks really cool. Cody, did you ever play Unravel?
No, I have seen the game play. Like I watched walkthroughs of it a
Hmm.
couple times. I liked the guy presenting. I think he seemed
Hmm.
very genuine. You could tell he very much like wanted people. He understands that people don't like EAs, but you could tell he like wanted people to like this game.
Yeah.
Um, but it was very weird how much they focused on the co-op mechanic, and then for the game to actually just be local co-op is very weird.
Yeah.
Because they were like, yeah, like you can like even if your say your friends not online, like you can play by yourself by like combining Yarny and his buddy, which I hope his buddy is called Wooly, because like freaking
I like
yarn and
that.
wool, I don't know. Uh, so yeah, and like the game was cool, like like it's just a standard platformer, and like you can do little
Yeah.
yarn grabs, and there was a turkey for some reason. I
It
don't
was
know why the
chasing
turkey was
you.
a yarn.
Well, it was gonna eat you. It was
Um,
gonna take you back and make you part of its nest.
okay, that would make sense why a turkey might want some yarn. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't think a turkey would want to eat yarn
Oh yeah.
personally, but whatever. Um, So yeah, this is cool. Yeah, if you're looking for a nice co-op game, there's that for
A
you. So
local co-op game,
and
FYI.
it's out now.
Oh my God, do you remember when we did our prediction show and I was like, I
Yes.
want something to say, hey, it's out now. We got two things technically at EA. We got Yarny, they were saying, oh, it's out now. And then, not that we're excited about that mobile game, but the mobile game, they're like, you can get it on Android Alpha now. Which I went and looked at the store and it was just a pre-register. It didn't let me get it right away. But anyway, the Unravel 2 filled my need to have something come out and just be completely announced and say you can get it right now. So that's exciting. It's $20. I thought about getting it until I realized it didn't have online co-op.
Before we get into the next indie game they announced, I think we should mention that EA announced that they're having a streaming service. It's
Yeah.
kind of like it seems like it's improving upon. I believe it's called EA All Access. Is their
Hmm.
streaming service right now? And it's gonna be any EA title will be on it for like $15 a month.
I didn't think that their current one was a streaming one. I didn't know it was streaming. I thought like
Maybe it's not
currently you
streaming.
download it and now it's going to be streaming.
Yeah, now it's gonna be streaming. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
I think so.
And like they said that Battlefield, like all that, will be on it.
Hmm.
Um, seems interesting. I don't, I don't think I'll get it, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it's because I don't know if it's just PC because like EA All Access is on consoles, like you can use it like
Yes.
that. Um, I don't think I'll get it. I mean, granted, it would be cheaper to pay $15 and try out like Battlefield 5 per se, but I
Yeah.
just don't think it's I don't know, think it's for me. Like I don't I don't need another streaming service.
Yeah, I feel like probably it's more to benefit for people who really like all the different sports games, because then there's like a bunch of games they can
Yeah.
play on it. If there's just like a game or two, it's like, meh, I don't know.
Oh, and we should also mention they revealed Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode. No shock. No shock at all.
Nobody cared.
Expecting
I
it.
feel like I think
Um,
they announced it and like the crowd like just like made no noise. They're like, eh, okay. It's like,
yeah. Um, and so next they announced Sea of Solitude, and this Seemed really sad.
Oh my God, this fucked me up just watching this thing and hearing her talk about it. Because here, I wrote down something that she said about this game. The developer was talking about it. She said, when people get lonely, they turn into monsters. And so this game is about this girl who is super lonely, and so she like has kind of converted into this kind of monstrous, still girl shaped thing, but like she's all like just like she's got like glowing eyes, and like her whole body is just like black, like nothing is defined, it's just like a shape, it seems like, and that's what the monsters in the world are that as well, it seems like. um and it had like really sad music playing, and she's like going around in a boat and running from these monsters and feeling sad, and I was just like, oh my God, and I got real upset. I was like, I don't know, what did you think, Cody?
Yeah, it seems really interesting. So I mean, so far we're 1 for 1 for these EA. I don't remember the term they call it, but the like indie games where they're funding it, but EA
Oh,
doesn't receive
yeah.
any of the money. Um, which I think has been a big takeaway today is that hey, EA is funding this game, but they don't see a penny from it. So
Yeah.
like you can still support this game if you think it looks cool, and you're not supporting EA.
Yeah.
Um, I want to see a little bit more from it. Like I want to know like, because I didn't really feel like I got like what I'd
Yeah.
be doing in the game. So like I want to know what I'd be doing. But I did like the art style for it a lot.
Hmm.
It seems like really dark and creepy, like almost Tim Burton like. So I'm into that. Seems really cool. So yeah,
It
guess
reminds
I have to wait
me
and
a
see.
little bit of Hellblade, because I feel like it's the main character's like journey through
Yeah,
her own darkness and dealing with this stuff, and like you're gonna get through it, and it's gonna be really like telling you something, and maybe because like Hellblade meant a lot to me,
yeah.
as far as dealing with grief and stuff like that. Like it helped me. So I feel like this game has the potential to do that as well, but it's probably going to make me cry, and like it's going to be hard to like get through it. But I mean it looks really cool, and I'll be excited to see more about it as well, just to see. But man, oh, it got me. So, yeah.
It looked cool. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. All right, I think that was all until we get to the big finish. Was there anything else that we missed? I don't think there's
No, that
anything,
was
nothing
everything.
else that we cared
Oh,
about.
the funny thing from the day was so we get this like really sad trailer for Sea of Solitude, and then just instantly into sports, and it was just like okay,
It's like
whatever,
let's
whatever,
lighten the
EA.
mood here. Let's bring you back up. Here's some basketball stuff. You
So
don't
I feel
care about
like
it, but yeah.
we should look at the EA conference before this next part and kind of grade it a little bit. So me personally, at this point, I'm kind of like C, like a C. Like you know, it's don't really care about sports. Sea of Solitude's cool, Unravel's cool. Wasn't wasn't I don't know. EA just I feel like they put on very weird press
It
conferences, and
was
this was
weird.
a very weird one.
Yeah, I thought
And
it
the
was
respawn
fine.
news is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then we get to the big news.
yeah,
We've all been kind of waiting for. What the fuck is Anthem? And we found out, and it's gonna be awesome.
yeah.
I was telling Sam, I was like, I didn't know where my hype levels were for this, but then I saw it all and I read a bunch about it, and I watched some like coverage from Game Informer and IGN, and hot damn, I'm all in for Anthem. Like, if they 100% deliver, I'm in for it because like,
Yeah.
whew. So we found out that the exosuits in Anthem are called javelins, and at launch there's going to be 4 of them. You had a thing
Can
about
we just
something,
real
and
quick
it makes a
say,
lot of sense.
because we talked a few weeks ago in this latest Destiny 2 expansion, there was an issue where they had this weapon, and sometimes they called it a javelin, and sometimes they called it a Valkyrie, and we couldn't figure out what they were doing, if they changed it halfway and just didn't fix it. So now finding out that Anthem, which has been compared to Destiny, has something called a javelin, I feel like maybe Destiny 2 had started to call this weapon a javelin, and then they found out about Anthem using that word, and they decided to change the to Valkyrie, but they didn't do a good job of cleanup. So that's what I think happened with Destiny 2. So
I mean, it makes sense.
it makes sense.
Uh,
All right, continue.
so the exosuits are called javelins. So in Anthem, you are a freelancer, you're living in this world that was shaped by these godlike beings, but then one day they just disappeared. So
But
now
they
there are
left a
these.
bunch of their tech, so there's still
That's a bunch
like
of their
it's still
tech,
affecting the world.
and the tech creates aliens and monsters and storms that produce more monsters. So you're a freelancer. You're going to have the ability to customize your freelancer, how they look and all that. So that'd be pretty cool. For Javelin classes, 'cause that's what the Javelin really is your class. It's going to be the Ranger, which appears to be your kind of all around. Colossus is going to be your kind of tankier, like heavy machine gun kind of character. And we don't know a lot about Interceptor and Storm, but judging by the way they look, the Interceptor seems like it's going to be like a fast-paced kind of like get in, get out kind of damage dealer. And then the Storm looks almost like a Warlock sorcerer to
Yeah.
me because like you have like a little storm arm. Um,
It seemed
they
very
have a
weird to me, the detail that they went into for Ranger and Colossus, and then they just like stopped and didn't talk about the other two at all. They weren't like, we'll tell
but
you
I
more
think
about those later. They just stopped. It was weird.
you want to leave a little bit to like you don't want to give it all the information out, you know?
Cody, you just have to say, and we'll tell you more about those others in the future. They didn't even see that. They just, it was a hard cut and it was weird.
So, judging before we get any further, judging by what you saw, what do you think is going to be your first pick to play
Okay, here's the thing.
based on looks?
I think I would like to play the Storm one the most, but I think it's probably going to be hard and I'll probably end up being the Ranger.
Um, I think I'll probably flip-flop between the Ranger and the Colossus, unless
Yeah.
the Interceptor brings some. Storm looks cool.
Hmm.
I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah.
Unless the Interceptor brings something I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I think I'll flip out between Ranger and Colossus. Colossus definitely seems like my kind of character.
Yeah.
Like the second I saw he popped a shield and was
Hmm.
like eating explosions with the shield, I was like, "You got me. You fucking got me, damn it." Um, so what are you doing in Anthem? So pretty much you are so you have a story hub. So this is a co-op game, but when you go back to your story hub, it's just you. And I like this aspect because like this is this definitely feels like an MMO to me because well, obviously not massive because you only have 4 people, but none of your progression is tied to anything that's going on with your teammates. You're doing your story, the stuff that matters to you, the quests that you pick up, but you're doing them with friends. And that's awesome. Because this is like what I love about a multiplayer game is that like I'm progressing my story, but also like I'm getting like, hey Sam, you want to go like, hey, I got a quest to kill like 10 of these things, and you're like, well, I have a quest to kill the same thing. Let's go do it together. That's what I enjoy. So you're doing that. I just dropped my notepad. We're just gonna keep going. Um, uh, I will say I can't wait to do like some flying combat. Like anytime
Yeah.
they show you flying around and like shooting stuff looks so amazing. Um, I'm gonna reach down and get the notepad, Sam. Can you
Okay.
talk for a minute?
Okay. I also like the flying. Megs had concerns about trying to shoot while flying, which I also have concerns, but I always do things that I'm bad at, so I think I'll be fine with that. But I like that you can just transition seamlessly from flying in the air to going underwater and flying underwater as well. It looks so cool. The environments just look amazing, and the
Yeah.
fact that like there's going to be weird storms and things going on throughout. It's very exciting. I'm excited to get into that world and see what it's like.
Yeah. And like it kind of seems like okay, they didn't show a lot, and they did talk a little bit about the game, but there was a lot of stuff that came out through Twitter and through like Game Informer's coverage. And next July is the Game Informer cover is Anthem, so we'll get to learn a bunch from that. And IGN had a hands-on interview where like they had somebody actually go play a couple weeks ago, and they interviewed him. Um, so there's no romancing, so you're not gonna get to have sex in your exosuit. I'm sorry, no javelin fucking. Um, Mark Dara, who is like one of the game designers, I think he's the lead game designer actually.
Okay.
Uh, answering a bunch of questions. Actually, tomorrow, so today is Saturday, so Sunday, he's doing an AMA all about Anthem, so you can ask him any question, he's gonna answer it.
Hopefully it'll be
So a couple
recorded so you can go
questions.
back and watch that because it'll be past by the time you hear this podcast.
Yeah, I think it'll be on like Reddit or something. Like
Yeah.
there'll be a bunch of write-ups about it. Like
Yeah.
Anthem is definitely going to be a game you're going to be seeing a lot about.
Yeah.
Um, So a couple of questions I got asked to him on Twitter were things like the romances. Will there be PvP? The answer to that one was no at launch. I hope it never comes
Yeah.
because I like PvP in Destiny because it's similar to Destiny. The issue is you don't get to have cool, crazy, exotic weapons sometimes because of how broken they would be in PvP.
That's
Like in
true.
Destiny 1, there were some crazy guns. Like everybody who played Destiny 2 remembers the Prometheus lens when it first came out and how crazy it was in PvP. You were melting people with it.
Hmm.
So I want like these big crazy weapons. Like I want like a bazooka for the Colossus that like just rains down hellfire. Like and because there's no PvP, you don't got to balance it. It's just you're being awesome.
To be fair, I'm not a game developer, but you could say here's a class of elite weapons, and any elite weapon is not allowed in PvP. Problem solved.
Good point.
See, I'm a problem
Destiny,
solver, Cody.
Destiny, hire this woman.
Yes, there you go.
Um, some other questions. Will there be more javelins after launch? He
Ooh.
said yes. One of
Ooh.
the things they mentioned during the conference, because they had like a little Q&A session, is that this is going to be like a living world. They're gonna update it, add story, add more quests, all that kind of stuff. So this is in a similar vein to a Destiny-like game, this like living world MMO FPS kind of thing. Will there be dungeons slash raids? So like that 4-person raid seems kind of cool. Like
Mhm.
doesn't seem like it's hard to get together. You can pick up 4 people.
Yeah.
And they said yes, there will be. Let's see what else we got here. We have what happens if you don't have friends? You said want to play this game. Well, you can play it solo. It may be a little more difficult,
Hmm.
or there will be matchmaking.
That's
You can
awesome.
matchmake into some random people, and there's no like restrictions. You can all be if you want to be 4 ranger javelins, you can do that. You level each of them up individually, so there's no need to make a new character. You're just your person, and you can hop into anyone at any time. So let's say your people you need a Colossus to be like a tank for you guys. You can hop in and be a Colossus on the go. So
That's
that's pretty
cool.
cool. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I've like written up about the Q&A on Twitter that guy was doing. Um, I watched a 123 questions
Oh
with
God,
him.
that's a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. There's no kneeling in the game, so I've decided that it's a hard pass because sometimes you just want to take a sit. And
I mean, of all the things
no, no
that could
seriousness.
could make you pass,
Um,
is there dancing? Did that come up?
they did say there's emotes.
There better be
Oh, that was the other
dancing.
big thing. There's no loot boxes. And
Okay.
any cosmetic,
Mm-hmm.
there will be cosmetics that they're selling,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not pay to win. There's no like cards to unlock. So BioWare is definitely sticking away from the EA bullshit of this past
Yeah,
year and a half. So good on them.
that's
So
cool.
I am really excited for this game.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's going to be a beta sometime soon.
Oh,
So that'll be
soon?
exciting. Like before the end of the year.
Okay, well, we should clarify our definitions of soon. That's fine.
Sorry, yeah, good point. Because I remember Spider-Man was supposed to be soon, and then it was 5 months later.
Yeah.
Um, sometime before the end of the year, there should because this
Okay.
game comes out February of next year, so we're definitely
February
getting a beta.
22nd. Yes. Excited.
Such a good time. The early part of the year is such a good time to release the
Yep.
game. I'm glad people are moving towards that.
Yeah.
So, Sam, thoughts on Anthem?
I'm just really excited for it. It combines all the stuff that I love. I haven't had the best history with BioWare games in the past because, like, I tried a Mass Effect and I got bored because I was just like going to planets and mining for supplies, and I was like, oh. And then, Dragon Age I played a little bit and I liked it okay, but I was just like, eh. Um, I found that like I don't know that I'm super into RPGs where you have to just like go and talk to a bunch of people because like Cody, I don't necessarily like talking to people in real life, so why would I want to go talk to a bunch of people in video games? I just want to go do my quests. Um,
Reasonable.
or watch really cool cutscenes. So that's fine. So we'll see what it's like. But this seems like it'll be a good mix, and there'll be plenty of stuff to keep me happy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks really fun. So
Yeah, I'm. This is probably my most anticipated game next year. Like,
It was my most
Everything looks really
anticipated game
cool.
of this year. It still is, even though it's not this year.
Um, and like I was listening to some people talk about it, and it kind of because they announced like more javelins are coming
Hmm.
after launch. This kind of seems like a AAA developed Warframe. Like nothing against Warframe, but like how there's like different frames in that game.
Okay.
There'll be different javelins in this game, and like
Hmm.
Warframe's a pretty amazing game in its own right. So I think BioWare has a lot of examples like Destiny, Monster Hunter, Division, and Warframe to base this game off of.
Yeah.
So I believe in them. I know a lot of people are skeptical, but I'm excited, and
Yeah.
there's some pre-orders up. You get some bonuses and all that. I probably will be picking that up soon.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was the
Cool.
EA conference altogether. I think it was not the best, but Anthem definitely got me hyped, and that's all you can really do. I
Yeah.
do wonder if it shows up on the Microsoft stage, because last year it did show up on the
That's
Microsoft
true.
stage when they announced it. So I do wonder if they announce a deal, because I don't think Bungie would sit well with PlayStation announcing a deal with them, because it's too similar of a game. So I think
Yeah.
Microsoft will get some
That's
exclusive loot,
oh.
which makes sense. So
I
yeah.
will say that last time was it last E3 where they had the thing where and like, it got so much shit for that gameplay where they were talking about how the people playing it were sounded
Oh
so
God.
fake, and so we're like, yeah, they probably learned their lesson. They're not going to do that again. No, they did that again. This gameplay, they had the people
Oh, I
talking.
didn't
It sounded even more
think
fake.
that was actually like in-game like NPCs talking, I felt.
Was it? I thought it was supposed to be
Yeah.
like people playing, and it sounded very, very not
I
real.
don't They didn't really clarify. I thought to me it was the NPCs talking because we didn't get that cringy like, "Oh, dude, I got a gold." Like
Okay,
that's
okay,
that stuff.
all
Because yeah, I
right.
do
I
admit
couldn't
the
tell.
thing last year was very rough. Like,
It was weird.
but no, I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen, and we'll talk about it more on the next show. But
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff. Like you're flying past this like it's called an ancient guardian, and like the person like just shot some random rockets. Like
Well,
so cool.
the monsters look really cool, but I think the one you're talking about, like they flew by it and shot at it, and then just kept going. They're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that guy. I'm just gonna go do this other thing." They just a flyby. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was very weird. I did it, and like I think it was cool. Like they showed. Well, first off, one negative takeaway
Uh-huh.
is that the size of like the damage numbers that are popping up a little too huge.
It's
Like
too
we're
big.
not
It's
all playing
so big.
on
Yeah.
70-inch plasmas.
You
Like bring it
can't see
down.
what you're hitting because the damage numbers are too big.
Yeah, and well, like I thought it was cool. So they showed the ranger throwing an ice grenade, and then
Mm,
the colossus did like a rocket
yeah.
shot, and it said combo, combo, combo. I think that's cool. Like that's a really
Mhm.
interesting mechanic to throw in there because like I want to find all the ways like Sam and I's javelins will combo together, or like if we could
That's what
pick
she
up some other
said.
buddies. But yeah, okay, you know what? God damn it, I walk into these. Um, but yeah, like anyways, Anthem is really cool looking, and I'm super excited for it. So next year
Agreed.
when it comes out, you'll have to hear us raving about it nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
Oh,
it's oh, timeout.
the 123 questions thing, the big takeaway is there is a final boss of the story mode.
Okay.
But after that, you constantly have new stuff that comes up.
Okay.
That was one of the big takeaways I got from the 123 questions. I did listen to all 123. I made note of them all. If you would like me to read them to you.
No,
Okay, good. Okay. I didn't want to do that. There's a lot.
that's a lot. All right. So I think that's all for today. And I think that's very good that we got to record today. So we got to talk about Anthem today and get this out of the way because like that would have been a big time thing that we would have given
Yeah.
in our next E3 episode, which now we can give to the rest of E3. So we had Anthem and then the rest of E3. So it'll be fine. All right. Let's see. If you want to share your thoughts on oh my God, excuse me, on what you've been excited about for E3. On Wednesday night, we're going to have a live stream with the community where we just talk about, what we're excited for, what we saw, all of that. I don't know the full details of when we're going to start. But just reach out to us on Discord and we'll get synced up for that if you'd like to join us. Um, if you have any questions or comments, you can always email us at contact@geekheartgames.com. We're on Twitch and Facebook at geekheartgames. geekheartgames.com/YouTube for all of our videos. We just launched our new season of Two Guardians, which is Two Guardians, Annabray and the Hive, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll be going through that. Um, Twitch.tv/geekheartgames for all of our live streams. If you want to get a fun Geek Heart Games shirt, you can go to geekheartgames.com/shirts. Um, if you want to join us in Discord, just go to geekheartgames.com/discord. And just a shout out to all of our people in there. We've been having some real good conversations with them. We got a little emotional with them the other day, just because, they mean a lot to us. And we just wanted to make sure that they knew that and how much we love them and love having them in our lives. So, did that. I am on Twitter at SKSUVAK. Cody.
I am at Comic Cody. And to talk about what Sam just said, some sad news this week. There was a celebrity chef, Anthony Bourdain. He committed suicide, and so it kind of sparked a lot of mental health talk out there. So we kind of put a message out there to Discord, but we also want to extend it to our listeners because Geek Heart Games was founded on making a community. And whether you've interacted with us one time, or you just like our tweets, or you've never talked to us, if you're listening to this podcast, you are part of this community. We do care about you, and we want you to know that you do matter. Things get rough. We know that. We've dealt with mental health stuff, the both of us, and the most important piece of advice I give is find something that makes you happy. Let it tether you here. Be it a video game, be it a person, be it a comic book, a book, movie series, TV series. Just find something that makes you happy. Let it tether you here because you do matter. Like I said, you are a part of this community. If you ever need to talk, we are here. Reach out to us any way you can, and we love you guys. And thank you for being part of the Geek Heart Games community.
Yeah. That's such a sweet message. Like, I don't know what
You
to
made this
say
real
next.
awkward.
I know. Now I'm just like, oh God. Okay. Well, we love you guys. Cody, I love you.
I love you too, Sam.
Okay, I said that knowing that you'd say it back. I didn't want to make it too awkward. It's weird, but all right. On that fun note, um, Cody, take it away.
Just two geeks who heart games. Do 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 do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cody has family here, and they keep interrupting the podcast. He has to keep going and dealing with stuff. So, from now on, when we have these breaks, I'm going to start telling you Cody facts. They will be truthful to the best of my knowledge. But I mean, who's to say? If I stray into areas where I don't actually know the answer, I cannot be held accountable for that. So let's just go with some random Cody facts, okay? Cody, his favorite horror franchise is Friday the 13th. Okay? Cody has blue paint in his bedroom. Cody does not have a doorknob on his door. Cody's house flooded previously. There was damage. Stuff has not been fully repaired yet, which is why he does not have a doorknob. I've expressed concern about it in the past. He's fine with it. Cody drives a small Miata. It's red. It's a sports car. I think he's having an early midlife crisis. Cody was originally from Canada, but his family moved to the US when he was a small boy. You can't tell from his accent. He sounds very American. Cody prefers to wear flip-flops over regular shoes. Cody actually prefers to wear no shoes but he'll wear flip-flops if he has to wear shoes. Um, Cody has a bad history of wearing shoes with no socks. I've tried to ask him not to. I mean, it's not like I can smell anything from here because it's online, of course. But whatever. Um, Cody does not use chapstick. Cody loves Brussels sprouts, but he hates broccoli. Cody would like to be a tattoo artist. He would also like to get more tattoos. Um, Cody has his Friday the 13th tattoo. He also has another tattoo that I cannot tell you what it is or where it is, just to be respectful. Cody, his dad does not like cats, so Cody does not have a cat. Um, Cody's brother has a dog. I don't remember the dog's name, but I recall that it's very cute. Uh, Cody. Wow, I'm really running dry here. This is tougher than I thought it would be. Cody has never played a Resident Evil game, nor has he seen a Resident Evil movie. Cody's favorite movie of all time is the original Super Mario Brothers movie, based on the video game. Uh, Cody hates romantic comedies. Um, Cody loves Star Wars, but not Star Trek. Cody used to be an Xbox person, but has transitioned into a well, I guess just a PlayStation person. Um, Cody is ambidextrous. He can write with both hands. I've asked him if he can like switch his hands on game controller remotes, but he said that was stupid. Um, Cody was a master at Guitar Hero back on PS3. He was really good at it. Um, but he usually just played bass, not guitar. Cody's favorite color is green. Cody God, this is so hard. Okay. Um, Cody has a Speedo, but he only wears it for his girlfriend. Um, when Cody was in high school, he went through the goth phase and he used to, paint his fingernails black and do the eyeliner. Cody used to have a mohawk. Um, Cody does not have significant back hair, which is nice. Um, Cody is not the youngest sibling, nor is he the oldest sibling. Spoiler alert, Cody has siblings. Obviously, because his nephew is here, and that's what's causing the ruckus. Um, Cody uh, once got in trouble at school for standing on the table and singing happy birthday to people. Um, Cody also once got in trouble at school for breaking into the principal's office and playing some type of heavy metal music through the announcement speaker. Cody is a very skilled knitter. He can knit things, but he does not crochet. Um, Cody's favorite book is A Wrinkle in Time. Cody's favorite comic book is oh, I forget the guy's name. What's the one? Um I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I can picture the guy in my head. It's a Marvel hero. You would think it would be Captain America. It's not. You would think it would be um, the Red Hood, or what was the Robin guy? Oh fuck, I'm gonna get in such trouble for this. It's not that guy either. I feel like it's a guy who wears black. He has mystical powers. He has like a cape. I forget his name. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I failed. Cody's favorite new comic writer is Donny Cates. Um, Cody hasn't been reading a lot of comics lately, although he does still enjoy the Power Rangers comic. Um, Cody loves Pokemon, obviously. Bulbasaur is his favorite Pokemon. Um, Cody has bought Titanfall 2 at least 3 times. Um, oh, I think Cody's coming
What
back.
is? What is? Why were you talking about me buying Titanfall 2?